Okay, I've got the physics blackout now with the new design in it, or the new span. Throw it in.
All right.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of the ball, get down a little bit lower, and get through it. See what we can do here. Physics blackout.
Today I went old school with the camera situation. I just used my iPhone. I used my shoe, put my shoe out there and used it for the stand, and put it right on the floor, or actually a chair behind the approach, and just tried to concentrate on a point of view that was a little down under, where I could concentrate on my hand, be able to see my hand position and reaction I was getting from the ball as it went through the pin deck. It was a pretty successful video. I was able to pick up a few things, run it past ChatGPT, and realize that I'm doing a little better than I thought.
Anyway, 70-year-old rookie bowler. Pick the sparrow. Okay. That went a little longer than anticipated. Here we go, fresh shot now.
Anyway, this is a very good way for me to analyze my hand position and the flat spot. That's where I'm missing. I'm missing the flat spot at the bottom, where I run the ball. I'm underneath the ball, and then as I come through and rotate it, I'm rotating it before I need to. I'm a little bit early on that rotation, and I'm missing out on some power by doing that. So that's what I'm trying to correct. I've got plenty of hand speed, which I was joking with the guys over there in Kansas about that. They were telling me to slow down with that. So that's one of the few fast twitch muscles that I have. I want to get rid of those.
Come on. To the bottom.
Well, this is a very good way of looking at things. The backside like that, it's not a full view, but it's certainly has helped me to be able to see better especially through the pin deck, as in what's going on with the ball. This particular game, I did manage to strike several times, so I was able to look at the way I was striking and begin to understand, or not begin, but realize that there's a lot of different strikes, and some are good, some are great, some are just telling you that you better change before you end up with something bad. So there's a lot to bowling, a lot more than I would have ever thought. And for a fellow to start trying to learn how to bowl when he's almost 70 years old is I don't know. Exactly what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that it's more difficult, I believe, to try to learn at a later age. But I've put a lot of time into it, and I could only imagine, what it would have been like if I would have had done this, 40 years ago. But that's okay. I really don't have, anything to look back at. I've got everything to look forward to.
Best shots in the world. We're looking at it.
I would suggest, if you're not doing it, you start doing it. You start videoing your practice sessions and your games, and you take a look at what you're doing. And if you want to improve at anything, you've just got to study. You've got to study what your strong points are and what your weak points are, and work on the weak points. To make an improvement there in that. That's the point. I know that I do some things well, and I know that I do some things that really, really need to have some improvement with. And that main thing is for me to get down underneath the ball and stay down underneath it long enough. I'm not going to get a lot of knee flex on it, okay? But my hand can still get there. When I stop, I need to rotate the ball and come on through at the toe. It's just a very fractional amount of a second there at the very end that I'm missing out. I've managed to, to do a lot of good things. So I'm not going to get down on myself too much for that. But and this is the first shot right here that of the day that was really not that good. The ball just stayed out to the right. I didn't, probably didn't aim right. Didn't get right down to it. That's I have this thing where I go 35, 5, and 3, which I'm so my left big toe was on 35. I'm looking at the fifth dot and aiming at the 3-pin. Sometimes I forget to look at the 3-pin. And it'll migrate off out to the right. This spare attempt there was, I needed to move it to the left a little bit more than I did, and I didn't. But I got fortunate that I was able to bounce it out of there.
Get down there with it.
These frames were stacking up pretty good. Toward the end there, I should have made a few more adjustments. I believe it had been able to stay in the strike area a little bit better. But all in all, it was a very informational practice session, and I was able to look at what I was doing. That ball just finished out. It didn't finish out strong enough. I could have left a 5-pin in there, which was really odd, but it did. And the Physics Blackout was one of my favorite balls. And when I started this new span, I was one of the first ones I went to get the new span on it, and I think it's going to work out really well. My hand feels much better. I don't have as much tension, and it's going to cost me some money to re-drill the balls, but anyway, I don't need to re-drill all of them, not all at once anyway. I have a major collection of them, and I have a fascination with bowling balls. Anyway, here we go, frame 9, see what it looks like. Stand tall, roll the ball, Mike. That's one of my old mottos that I like to say. Can you stand up in there and let her roll? See, that's not a bad throw. Well, left a 7-pin. After striking a lot and you just have to concentrate on what you're doing with your spare ball. This particular one, I just went ahead and stayed with Physics Blackout. I'm going to throw it pretty straight, come off over here to the right side, just come and bring it back in there. The left side spares are a lot easier than the right side spares. Both of them are beginning to get more and more accessible to me. Now here we go. We got the 10th frame here. We're getting into it now. I really was hoping that I could get, close it out with 3 in a row here. But this first ball here I threw, look at that. It goes through there pretty well. It wasn't one of the better strikes I had, but it did the trick. So, all right, again, I've got some encouragement here. So I'm thinking, okay, let's give me this one more, and if you get that second one, that third one usually a lot easier, unless you're rolling for 300. And, then I think by the time you get the 10th frame, it's by that 10th shot, you're just kind of in the zone, But that wasn't happening today. All right, stand tall, roll the ball back. Where you do, you throw it down through there. It's looking pretty good. Pocket hit. Oh, it was a little bit light. Didn't finish. Left the pin back there. Well, one thing you want to do is after you bowled a game like this, it's a clean game, so you don't want to finish with a miss. So I can't tell if that's the 8-pin or the 5-pin. I think it may have been 8. Anyway, got it lined up, let her rip, tater chip, picked it up. That's the end of the game.
Okay, we ended up with 234, I think. Anyway,
This game was taken from a low-angle shot where I could just take a look and see how I was releasing my ball. These are some of the little snippets I got from that game, just to see how I was releasing the ball. I am getting okay. I'm getting better. I just need to stay under the ball longer. It's a challenge, but I'm up for it. I'm still continuing to learn at 72 years old. Look at that, 216 average.
Had a really good time today. And I want to thank everybody out there for subscribing to the 70-Year-Old Rookie Bowler. I hope to be an inspiration to a lot of people, you know, that to let everybody know that, hey, just because you're 60 above, 50 above, I don't know, whatever you are, or just if you just don't feel good, sometimes you just need to get out and move, because that's what it takes. I don't feel good all the time either. You know, I stand here right now before you, and both my legs are numb, my back hurts, but I've had a great time. The adrenaline pumping through me has made it worthwhile. So I want to thank God for that. Again, I'm thanking God for today. It's the oldest day I've ever had. I've never been this old before. And again, I've never going to be this young again. So in effect, I'm settling two things. The fact that I've got enough wisdom in me to understand that I'm never going to be any younger than this, so I'm celebrating my youth also. I got a beautiful wife, 2 fine boys, 14 wonderful grandchildren, a lot of friends out there and people that I love and cherish. And I just hope that I can help them to understand that. Anyway, I just want to thank everybody. Piper's at home. She's afraid because it's raining and scary. I need to go get home with her and make her feel good. So, love everybody. Take care of your pets. They're your best friends. Amen and hallelujah.